do you keep in it? I do. It's not very full right now. I definitely need to add some more things. The rabbits are all being so funny. It's breakfast time, so they're all just kind of going a little crazy, but, so, like, something that I recently got for mine, because I had a couple bunnies that were having eye issues just because of the fall, winter time, it's more common. So I got terramycin, which looks like this. It's like just a super expensive antibiotic that's just in a tiny little bottle. So that's one thing that I've added, and then that I'll just keep on hand. Definitely if I need it in the future. And then, I have, like, needles in case I need to do, any, like, injections of antibiotics or anything like that. I don't have too much right now. I have dewormer, which I don't use preventatively, but in case I ever needed to use it, because one of the bunnies had worms or anything, I have that, but I pretty much don't have a lot right now. I definitely need to add to my list, though. Do you have false dwarf rabbits? If so, why do you keep them? So I do, especially for does. I have false dwarf does because they can definitely have bigger litters. When you breed them to a smaller buck, they can produce big litters and they can produce nice babies. I have a couple, like Fern is a false time doe, a false dwarf doe, and then she had Hershey, who I showed you, and a couple other babies. And from a previous litter, I kept a doe from her named Pickle, and because she was bred to a true dwarf buck, those rabbits are true dwarfs, and they're really, really nice. And so false dwarfs can produce really nice rabbits, and they don't produce peanuts, which is really nice. I also have Tucker, who's a false dwarf buck, and he's just one of the highest quality bucks I've ever produced. He's just on the bigger side. I don't even think he's necessarily a false dwarf because he looks like a true dwarf. He just weighs over 4 pounds. So who knows? He could just be on the bigger side, but I keep him mostly because he's my little teddy bear. He's the sweetest thing, but also he makes really nice babies, such as Shiloh that I mentioned earlier. What was your first rabbit's name? Her name was Elsie. Boy bunnies or girls? This is a hard one for me because for my herd, I love both. I have some boys that can be on the, like, I have some boys that aren't particularly friendly, and then I have some that are just the sweetest things, and then I have the same with does. Most of my does are very, very sweet and friendly and docile and just want to cuddle and are always at the front of the cage. But I have both, so I like them both. And I think it really depends. As a pet, if you're going to have just like a house rabbit pet or something, typically bucks are better because they don't go through a hormonal change that does do around 6 months. So typically, boys are better for pets. But honestly, from my rabbitry, they're both really great. I don't have a preference. What is your least favorite breed? Himalayans. I just don't, they're like really long and skinny, and I don't like the points and the red eyes. They're just not, I'm not a fan. How many rabbits / babies do you have right now? I currently have 23 rabbits total. A couple are for sale. I have 3 does that are pregnant, and I have no babies under like 12 weeks right now. Howie's just chilling down here. He's a sweetie. Which rabbit is your least favorite and why? This was an interesting question because usually people ask you which rabbit you have as your first favorite. But I think for least favorite, it would probably be Otis, just because he was not born at my rabbitry. So I didn't like build a bond with him from when he was like a tiny baby. So, and he's the only rabbit I have right now that was not born here. So definitely Otis. He's the sweetest thing though, like I still love him, it's just that I don't have that bond from birth, so if I had to choose a least favorite, it would be him. How often do you breed your does and do you give any vitamins? I do not give my does any vitamins, it's not necessary. I'll typically breed does around 4 times a year, individual does, and then I typically try to have some litters every month, but it really depends on what's going on in my life and how busy I am. How long did it take you to breed rabbits you thought met the standard? So this is a great question, but I'm definitely still working on this. I've had best of breeds and all kinds of placings, high placements, but that doesn't mean that I think my rabbits meet the standard at all. I definitely think there's still a lot of improvement. But when I was really happy with the quality of my rabbits, I would say that it was about 4 years or so. It was probably just this year and this past year that I started getting really confident and really enjoying the type of rabbits that I was producing. So I would say probably about like 6 years, because I've been breeding for about 6 years now. So probably, yeah, 5 to 6. What prices are suggested for beginners? And I assume this lady means when you sell your rabbits. I would suggest talking to the breeder you bought your rabbits from. I know it varies by state, it varies by city. So I would definitely talk to whoever you bought your rabbits from. Maybe kind of go with what their prices are like, but a little bit lower because you're a beginner, they are not. So yeah, I would say it really depends. In my area, rabbits are really, they're in really high demand, especially Holland Lops, so I can have higher prices. Also, I want to make sure that I get good homes for them, so that's why. Would you ever raise blue-eyed whites? I would not, just because I have other colors that I really love that I would want to raise before, and I just can't see myself raising blue-eyed whites. Favorite junior, what do you like most about him or her? So one of my favorite juniors right now is definitely Shiloh. So he's still under 6 months. But besides Shiloh, I love Hershey. I'm just really excited about his color and having more chocolate in my herd. And then I also love Cleo, who is out of Finn and Zuzu. And whenever I mention a name for my rabbit, my website's down below. You can just go onto the My Herd page and see all these bunnies I'm talking about. But definitely I'm super excited about Cleo. I think she's going to be a really, really nice show doe. Favorite variety of Holland Lop? I love chestnut, and I've especially been loving chestnut more and more. Chocolate chinchilla, I love blue tort a lot. I love blue, solid blue. I love brokens. I love all kinds of colors. Solid chocolate's one of my favorites. When do you clean out your nest box? I usually clean my nest boxes around 10 days. But not always, because sometimes if there's just a few amount of babies, it's usually more risky to clean it, because then the babies might get out, and typically it's not as comfy after it's cleaned, and so there's a bigger risk for babies to get out and get too cold and die. So if there's a few amount of babies and it's not that dirty, I typically won't clean it until they're hopping out of the box. What is a good price for a show quality Holland Lop?